Recording in progress.
Hello everyone, good evening. It has been 500 days since the war between Russia and Ukraine has started, or 17 months have been passed. In this context, there is appearing that the war is not going to end in the near future. In this context, we'll discuss about the upcoming Saudi Arabia's deal that it is going to make, or Saudi Arabia's peace initiative between Russia and Ukraine, what it is going to have. So first of all, we'll discuss what exactly is the war as of now, what is the status quo of the war. Subsequently, we will discuss whether the war is going to end or not, and we will look at some initiatives which the global countries have taken in order to end this war and how far they were successful and how the Prince of Saudi Arabia will be successful in ensuring that the war between Russia and Ukraine is going to end as early as possible. So this is about the peace process that is going to begin in Jeddah, which may hope for peace in Ukraine. So Saudi Arabia is the mediating one. So let's look at what exactly is this. So this was the article which was, I have taken this from the Hindu newspaper. So let's start discussing about it. So it has been 500 days of war in Ukraine, and both sides have seen huge losses. In Ukraine, almost 15,000 people were dead, and in Russia, more than 35,000 people were dead. And the casualties, apart from these casualties, we see more than 1 lakh people wounded and 1 lakh 80 people wounded in Ukraine and Russia respectively. Together, the casualty rate as well as the persons who were wounded is very high, and the areas that you are seeing on the map, that is regarding to Ukraine and Russia's invasion, Russia has captured key areas. Already we have seen in 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, after that Kherson, and then Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, Mariupol, Donetsk, Luhansk, all these places were occupied by Russia. So in this context, it has been 500 days that the war has passed. So where do the war stands now? The war stands as of now, economy has shrunk down to 30%. Refugees are more than 80 lakh people or 8 million people, and reconstruction estimates is around 400 billions. So in this context, let's look at what is the initiation of Saudi Arabia in this, how far it is going to work. But first of all, where is the war that is going to be standard at now? So if you look at the war, it has been almost 17 months, and as per United States President, Mr. Joe Biden has said that he is ready to supply arms and ammunition to Ukraine to fight the aggression of Russia till the last second is possible. Hence, it is a very clear indication that the Western countries are continuing their sanctions on Russia, and they are supporting Ukraine to the highest level. It was steered by USA, followed by the European Union countries. On the other hand, Ukraine is also saying that it is ready to fight till the last breath. So they are ready to regain the areas where Russia has occupied. This was Ukraine's position, and Russia is also saying that, or Russia is also confident that they are going to win the war and they are not going to withdraw anytime soon. Given these contexts, the United Nations Security General Antonio Guterres has clearly said that the peace negotiations are far away from the visible site, and that is not possible at this stage, because both the countries are very, very confident. In this context, how can we end Russia-Ukraine war? So this is the one. So in order to end this Russia-Ukraine war, Saudi Arabia is set to host major countries like Ukraine, US, and some European Union countries, which they are going to meet in Jeddah, in the Red Sea port city of Jeddah on August 5th and 6th. In this context, let's look at what is the expectations of Ukraine, what are the expectations of Russia, what are the peace initiatives that were started earlier. So starting with this, the first thing is about Ukraine's deal. Ukraine has clearly said that they are looking for some progress in this. That is, 10-point peace plan was proposed by Ukraine way back in the G20 summit that was held last year. Now what Ukraine is asking is, Ukraine wants restoring Ukraine's territorial integrity of 1991 borders and the breakdown of after the breakdown of Soviet Union. So it wants all those areas which were annexed by Russia at this point of time, and then they are reaffirming in accordance with the UN Charter. Now they also want Russia to be prosecuted for the war crimes that has been committed during this point of time. On the other hand, Russia is asking that they have to go for re-drawal of the boundaries considering the new realities. Hence, Russia is claiming that we want the new borders whereas Ukraine is telling that we want to hold borders. Along with this, war crimes has to be interrogated or taken upon Russia. In this context, so both the countries are not ready to withdraw at any point of time. Hence, many nations tried to bring some peace deal. It was started way back by some countries like China has initiated, Brazil has initiated, South African countries has initiated. Now Saudi Arabia is going to deal. Now in this context, let's see what has been proposed by China in its peace plan. So China in this February has proposed a 12-point peace plan as far as Saudi Arabia or as far as this war is considered. Now this is highly both what it contained. It contained that it has condemned the use of nuclear powers in the wars, and it called for ceasing of hostilities, resumption of talk, and abandoning Cold War mentality of the Western countries. So China was very critical in its peace deal of 12-point program, and it has criticized the Western countries for sanctioning Russia and continuing their Cold War politics on Russia. So China is having its own desire in this 12-point plan. What China is trying to do is it wanted to ensure that its territorial integrity with Taiwan is not disturbed in this 12-point peace plan. Along with that, it is also favoring Russia in this 12 peace plan. As a result, the global South countries or the so-called Western countries are not supporting to this peace plan. Hence, that was not successful. It was mediated by China. Then what about the mediation that was done by African countries? In June this year, after February, 7 African countries led by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has pointed 10-point peace plan. According to this, they have their own problems here also, because Africa is the country which was hit by food grain export, and they are suffering the most. As per the African Development Bank, the conflict directly was responsible for the loss of 30 million tons of food grains in Africa. Hence, Africa was reeling under huge pressure. Hence, both the countries wanted that the inflation has to be reduced, the de-escalation of fighting has to be done. However, again, Africa is in favor, just like China, towards Russia, because in the United Nations resolutions, it didn't vote against Russia. So it abstained from voting Russia. Now, what about Brazil? Brazil President Mr. Lula da Silva also led a peace club of countries which are not involved in the war and which are not militarily aligned. However, again, Brazil's peace plan was not accepted by Ukraine, and it was not accepted by the West, because again Brazil was speaking in line of Russia. Hence, whatever the peace plans, whether that may be the plan of China, that may be the plan of Saudi Arabia, the plan may be that of South Africa, the plan may be that of Latin American countries like Brazil, more or less they were not successful. Now Saudi Arabia is trying its favor, or trying its luck in bringing this peace deal. Now, what is important to this meeting, which is going to be held tomorrow and day after tomorrow, major country people are going to participate. That is United Kingdoms, European Union, South Africa, Poland, United Nations, United States people are going to participate. Again, there was confirmed news that Ukrainian counterparts will also be present in this meeting, except Russian counterpart. So, though the peace appears to be a long visioned dream in this war, one thing that we have to appreciate as far as Russia-Ukraine war is concerned is, no, there has been many middle players who are coming and trying to settle the peace deal. That too, if you look, majority of them are the global South countries such as Brazil, South Africa, which are proposing an alternative to this war, because the Western countries are supporting their military weapons to Ukraine. So already the Western countries have taken up their own stand on this war, but it is the global South which is playing a very crucial role in bringing the peace deal. And now Saudi Arabia is also trying its luck in order to end this war. We have to wait and watch what it is going to occur, but we have to wait and watch, because again Saudi Arabia has moved recently very close to Russia, and both the countries are members of OPEC+, which is the most influential oil cartel in the world. So let's see whether this is going to put an end to this 17-month-old war between Russia and Ukraine. Hope everything goes fine. Thanks for joining. This is what the editorial is about, Jeddah's peace plan, and we expect that there will be hope. There is some peace process in the entire negotiations. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.